Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Dani, this is Haley, and we're Queens of Schemes. We call out MLM scams and lies with a side of sass.
Today's episode is another Cringe Binge, and who's in the hot seat today? It's doTERRA essential oils. If you're new here, welcome to Cringe Binge, the series where we scroll through MLM social media posts and point out all the cringy, desperate ways they try to recruit and sell. Now, quick disclaimer, we don't have a problem with essential oils themselves. When they're used safely and in the right context, they can be helpful, but doTERRA, yeah, this is where things get messy. Here's the deal. The oils are insanely overpriced. You can get good quality oils for literally half the cost. On top of that, the way they market them is packed with misinformation and sometimes even dangerous advice, all because reps need to push sales. And honestly, that's where it stops being funny and starts being concerning.
The first couple of posts that we're going to show you have to do with reps selling essential oils as the next best ingredient in their recipes. Please see Exhibit A. When you forget the orange juice for the maple glaze for the turkey. And the comments aren't any better. Somebody asked, did it taste good? The author, it tastes delicious. Then it says, I'm so glad. And somebody else added, haha, I ran out of cinnamon and used the essential oil. Hallelujah hands. And then the author comes back and goes, this glaze turned out better than previous years, so I'm changing my recipe now.
I would be so upset if I went to somebody's house and found out that they put essential oils like directly on my food and cooked it with that.
Oh, I would start thinking about all the other times I ate at their house. Like how many recipes had essential oils in it? How long has this person been poisoning me for? And I'm never going back to their house again. It's done. We're done. This is a theme, everyone. Here is another post commenting about a recipe that they included essential oils for. Santa brought us a ninja slushie for Christmas, and tonight was my first attempt at using the machine. Made a copycat Wendy's vanilla frosty, and it was really good. I was told it needs to be a tad thicker, but the flavor was there. 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of zero sugar vanilla coffee creamer, approximately 7 ounces of condensed milk, approximately 1/3 of small Cool Whip container, and a few drops of doTERRA vanilla essential oil. I'm not a great cook, by no means. However, I don't think that essential oil should be in the food.
I'm not understanding what the benefit of using the essential oil is in this case either. Like, why wouldn't you just use actual vanilla or vanilla extract?
I'm pretty sure it's a lot cheaper to just buy the vanilla extract than it would be to buy a vanilla essential oil thing. And the scariest part about this recipe is that there's many more just like it. And we're seeing this phenomena where people are literally creating cooking recipes like cookbooks and how to properly use essential oils in them. It's become a big thing.
I was actually shocked when you told me that you're finding most of these recipes on Pinterest. And the reason that it's so concerning is we have to talk about putting essential oils in food. A lot of MLM reps love to push the idea, but the truth is essential oils are highly concentrated. We're taking the oil from an entire plant packed into a single drop. That means even a tiny amount can irritate your mouth, damage your digestive tract, or even mess with your liver over time. Most essential oils are not regulated as food products, and many aren't considered safe to ingest at all. So when reps tell you to put a few drops in your water, tea, or recipes, that's not wellness, that's a potential health risk.
And this post had to come into this episode because why are we selling empty doTERRA bottles on Facebook Market? And I don't understand the purpose behind this marketing ad. What are we trying to sell here? Are we trying to show that the glass form vase can hold a lot in its container? Are we actually trying to sell those empty doTERRA bottles? None of this ad makes sense to me. It's weird.
I think this post is literally just proof that people really aren't making money in doTERRA, because why are you trying to get $50 from your empty bottles?
The other thing it makes me think of is inventory loading.
I was just going to say that.
That is way too many bottles to just have on hand and to actually think, I'm going to try to sell these as is. That's weird. It's hard for me to understand.
That's crazy. I was literally thinking the same thing, that this is also proof that doTERRA is one of the MLMs that makes you inventory overload.
And the next post we want to show you is another theme that we are seeing. And it typically happens around this time of the year when the kids are going back to school. So these were some posts that we found last year, and they're basically trying to use kids as their next pitch.
The post says, I get asked this question a lot. Exactly what does it look like to live and love a natural solutions lifestyle? Well, here's a great summary for how to get your kids ready for the new school year. Natural solutions style. Let's make sure they're feeling their best with the perfect essential essential oils for every part of their body. Check out our back to school essential oil guides for little ones. Keep your little ones happy and healthy and ready to conquer the school year with these kid-friendly essential oils. Get started today. Click here to get your kids back to school products, and I'll walk you through exactly how and when to use them.
You know when you're going back to school in elementary and the teacher gives you a guide and it tells your parents what we need to get so that we're okay during the school year? Never saw an essential oil once. What the fuck, eh? And you're probably wondering, what's this guide that they're talking about? Let me show you. Let me show you the guide. Here it is. Kids and essential oils. So they've targeted every part of the child's body and has some type of essential oil that can be rubbed on there. Rubbing it on there directly on the skin. There's not even instructions to dilute the essential oils, at least mix it with a little bit of water, right? No, just slap that shit right on there.
So when you're using an essential oil, they usually have separate bottles with what they call a carrier oil, and you dilute the original oil into that to put it on the skin. And the fact that this isn't the first thing that they're talking about is what concerns me, because people are going to take this advice and they're going to put these oils directly on their kids' skin. And we've seen it. When you look into doTERRA, there are so many videos of parents putting essential oils directly on their kids' skin and just like dumping it on there with no concern that that's actually not how you're supposed to apply them and can be harmful.
And dousing your children in essential oils when it's probably irritating their skin and causing all types of other health concerns that they're not thinking about, we're almost dipping into child abuse. We don't know anything about these products because there's not enough research about them. For reps to think that it is okay to encourage parents to put this on their child without any proof that this is going to help with the things that she's talking about in this diagram, I think that's really, really dangerous.
The other thing that I've been thinking about, because I actually just saw this with Super Patch, is that a lot of problems or behavioral concerns that parents are having about their kids, they're saying that the MLM product is going to be what is going to cure them. So if they're not able to focus, oh, we're putting an essential oil on them or we're slapping a super patch on and saying that that's what fixed them. And they're not actually taking the time to think that if these are actual concerns, an essential oil or a super patch is not going to help. And they're depriving their children of actual support that they might need to navigate through these situations.
And here's another example. We're seeing a lot of this going around. Back to school isn't just for the kids. Don't even know what that's supposed to mean. doTERRA's kids blends are perfect for the whole family, keeping little minds focused and grown-ups energized, ready for a school year full of wellness. And again, here we see if we want to be stronger or braver or calmer or a rescuer or a thinker, and there's actually even more essential oils with targeted qualities.
I don't understand the rescuer one. Like, I would love to know what that actually means. I've never heard that described as, you know, something that you can do to make yourself a better rescuer, but here we are.
For anybody who wants to be a hero, use some Copaiba lavender spearmint.
Saturday morning I slept in, and before noon today I had used all of these doTERRA products. I think that explains my addiction to health and wellness in doTERRA. Long live the Hinsies. What do you use today?
In what world does somebody need that many essential oils before noon on a Saturday? She said it speaks about her addiction to wellness. I think it speaks about something else. That's crazy. That's way too many essential oils. I would be sick if I consumed and rubbed that many essential oils on myself first thing waking up, essentially.
And this is top tier overconsumption. Nobody needs, number one, to buy this many products from doTERRA, and no one needs to put this much shit on their skin.
I feel bad for their skin, and I also feel bad for their bank accounts because that probably cost them an arm and a leg to accumulate.
When they're making these types of reels on TikTok, they should be including their rank, because I would love to know how much of this she had to buy and what rank she's at.
And again, nothing against the person that is repping this right now. I don't appreciate the marketing tactic, the overconsumption, the overloading, the trying to make it seem like you need all of those products to feel well. I can guarantee you that there are many other things that we can do in our lives, lots of other changes that we can do to feel better and healthier. Having 500 bottles of doTERRA before lunchtime, I don't think is very healthy. I think it's an unhealthy obsession.
And this just plays into how people have to act when they're in an MLM. There is probably some desperation behind the scenes here that they need to make sales and recruit people into doTERRA in order to make money. So they have to display that, hey, I use all of this. I'm not really sure the point they're actually trying to make. This would actually be a huge turnoff for me if I was even remotely thinking about buying doTERRA, because I would not want to support this person's addiction. What we're looking at here is the alleged position agreement for doTERRA. So there's several red flags that we need to go over, because reading this for the first time, it's honestly ridiculous. Expected hours. To be a successful doTERRA leader, you are expected to perform the following responsibilities listed in this agreement, with a 15 to 20 hour a week requirement. These responsibilities involve giving regular sales and organizational training, guidance, and encouragement to all personally enrolled, train and motivate wellness advocates in my downline organization. So right away, my problem I have with this, you are paying to be in doTERRA, and you're saying that I have to spend 15 to 20 hours a week doing this.
What really turns me off with this ad is exactly what you just said. So you're telling me I have to work 15 to 20 hours a week, but you haven't told me what I'm getting per hour, because I'm not getting anything per hour. So no, thank you. Red flag right there. I wouldn't even read the rest if I was interested in this opportunity.
First month training, premier on purpose course, doTERRA sales training, start Elise, Shadivi, daily mentor calls. Probably butchered that, sorry.
What is that?
Oh, I just assumed it was somebody's name.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Daily half-hour personal development. This includes spiritual, emotional, personal, half-hour business development, product training, leadership business training, daily mentor call recordings, 2 new contacts, 2 follow-ups, respond to all texts, emails, calls from direct upline or frontline within 24 hours unless otherwise discussed.
There's way too much free work involved on my behalf for me.
What if you sign up and, I mean, I guess maybe your plan is they probably get some type of discount, right, if they order, and they just really like essential oils, and maybe they don't want to sign up a bunch of people, and now you're telling me that the commitment is 15 to 20 hours a week unpaid, and that I have to do follow-ups and all these new contacts. What if that's not what I wanted to do? I thought the entire point of joining an MLM was that I get to dictate what I do with my schedule and when I follow up and make contact and do these things. It's supposed to be flexible for me. That's supposed to be like the biggest selling feature, and now you're telling me that I have to commit to all of this?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. On a weekly basis, a weekly scheduled mentor call with your direct upline so they know how to best support you. Downline leadership calls with your qualifying leaders so you know how to best support them. 2 classes or one-on-ones that share the oils and the business opportunity. So I get the feeling, again, that they are trying to portray themselves as a business, which I say that lightly in business, because if you're employed by a business, you would normally be getting, again, paid to do these things. Like, I can appreciate that they want you to have a mentor call with your upline because they want to help you sell. Guess like that's a nice thing that they're providing you. But really, how much information can your mentor give you? You're either selling these and you're making profit off of it because you're selling a lot of them, or you're not. On a monthly basis, you have 150 PV loyalty rewards order placed, 500 to 1,000 personally enrolled OV new monthly volume, 2 to 4 new personal enrollments, 2 new LRP orders and organization. Welcome training for all new personal enrollments can be one-on-one, group, or via video calls. Organizational volume growth of 10% month to month. Those are some pretty high expectations, and I don't know all of the acronyms that they're using here, but the 150 PV usually stands for personal volume. Most of the time it's dollar for dollar, so they're expecting that you're going to spend a minimum of probably around $150 a month on your own oils. That's where we get the inventory loading. The 500 to 1,000, those, I believe, are going to be people you've personally enrolled and the amount that they're selling. So depending on how big your downline is, I think they want you to sell 500 to 1,000 within your downline, which would track if they're asking for 2 to 4 new personal enrollments. That's That's a lot monthly to get somebody to commit to also signing on to this, knowing that they're not being paid and they might not get those enrollments. That's a pretty big ask.
It's basically a fake employment contract where you're signing your life away to do free labor with no guarantee of getting anything back. This is not a good deal.
And then on a yearly basis, you need to attend regular regional training events and the annual global convention. So the problem I have with this, again, because you know what, I've been following, I think it's MLM Unmasked on Instagram, and there's a bunch of other small anti-MLM Instagram accounts that are following what just happened at Monations and calling it out. I've been reading a lot of what's been going on with that because I don't know a lot specifically about the people in Monate, but there's a lot of people that like very closely follow the top leaders there. And one of the things that really bothers me about this convention is you have to pay for the whole thing. You pay for your flights, your accommodations, you're sharing rooms with people. And the Monations, they actually had people paying for next year's convention already, and they released like a 5-product bundle that was like hundreds of dollars that they all went crazy for and sold out. The entire purpose is just to get you to spend more money when you're probably already not making money. So now you're signing on for that too with this fake contract for your fake job. You're going to have to pay for whatever convention you're going to, and you're probably going to be required to pay even more when you get there for the next new essential oil that they come out with. Going to start advertising that for plants too. Rub it on the leaf. Miracles will happen. And the last thing I would love to know is what happens if you're not fulfilling these duties. They say you have to have organizational volume growth of 10% month on month. What happens if you're not meeting that 10% goal? Are they now asking you to spend more time with your upline? And that's the problem with this entire system, is that sometimes it's really just not going to matter how hard you work. You're not going to be that 1% that's at the top. And it's nothing against the person. It's just designed to be like that.
And what's kind of scary too is that at the bottom, they say you're signing on for 6 months. That's a long time.
This was a recent post that I came across during the flooding in Texas. This is just another upsetting example on how MLMs specifically prey on tragedies. It's been a rough weekend, to say the least, to watch in horror as the weather has turned so many people's lives upside down in an instant. There are so many organizations that are rallying together to help those affected. The company that I partner with, doTERRA, has put together these 72-hour hygiene kits. They are always available for purchase. These kits include non-toxic shampoo conditioner, non-toxic toothpaste, toothbrush, band-aids, deep glue rub to assist with aches from cleaning up, non-toxic hand sanitizer to clean hands on the go, tea tree essential oil roller. This oil is known for its properties, which include antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral, just to name a few. How this oil can help support on an emotional level, assisting with feelings of being drained and feeling powerless, encouraging feelings of resilience and safety. When you purchase even just one of these, they are held on reserve and distributed free of charge when requested at times of disaster. Many wellness advocates in Texas have submitted requests for these kits to help hand them out to those in the affected areas free of charge. This is part of the doTERRA initiative to help. If you would like to purchase a kit to be distributed on your behalf, please see my story with the link. If you know a first responder that has worked tirelessly in the search and rescue efforts, please let them know our group will be hosting a free appreciation event for them in the coming weeks. Details later to come. Hugs, Fuzzy.
I'm all for them wanting to help. What I don't like is that they're hiding a pitch within that help. It's like a transaction to them, right? We're going to help the cause, but in behind the scenes, we're moving in the shadows, and we actually just want you to sign up for our company. That's the feel that I get.
There's several red flags also to look at. How this oil can help you on an emotional level. Can we talk about that? We now know that there was a lot of people who lost their lives in these floods, and you're saying that this can help you on an emotional level. Like, I don't feel like this is a solution. You're preying on somebody's vulnerability while they could be going through one of the worst times in their lives.
And I can imagine that there's a lot of grief for the communities that were affected on. And just like you said, they're preying on that grief. And it's unfair. And this is exactly why the anti-MLM community exists, because of those predatory tactics. When something like this happens in people's lives, the hunch just infiltrates, and all of a sudden it becomes a perfect pitch to them. They're totally tone deaf to what's going going on because they prioritize their sale rather than having empathy.
I also just think it's really odd. You can buy these kits at any time, and then when they get requested, that's when they get handed out in the affected area.
Basically saying that if nobody asks for it, they're just going to pocket your donation.
Exactly. The last thing that I want to point out is just exactly what people are getting and how expensive these products are. So if you want to help people during this time and buy one of these kits, this is what it's going to cost. So you've got shampoo and conditioner, the deep blue lotion rub, the toothpaste. I'm not sure what size the tea tree oil you're going to get is. This is well over $100, pushing on the $200 mark on what you're going to be spending to support people during times of disaster. If you are able to spend up to $200 helping people, your money would go a lot further if it went to an organization that was actually working with victims of disasters directly, where they can provide the services and the items that people in crisis need during these times. When we're discussing what the disaster relief kit actually costs, there was a lot of people in our MLM Horror Stories sub that also felt that this was a really out of touch pitch. $200 for 6 products. No one is going to buy relief kits to donate at these prices. $200 could go so much further than a few standard toiletries. They haven't even tried to hide this being a money grab. A $200 donation made directly to verified disaster relief agencies will fund emergency shelter, food, clean water, clothing, toiletries, and first responder support and lodging. doTERRA has no shame in making their evil cash grab. And that's exactly what we pointed out. People are really not happy that you're spending basically $200 to go towards 6 items. It's way too expensive.
The toothpaste was $14. We could do so much more with $14. We could have like 10 toothpastes for that price.
The problem is they're so diluted, they probably don't see it as a cash grab. So in their minds, they have nothing to hide, be embarrassed about. If my house just got swept away and some volunteers handed me a tea tree oil roller, I might get violent. I'd honestly rather no help at all, less garbage to carry around that way.
They're not wrong. doTERRA is trying to help, but they don't realize that the kind of help they're offering is quite insulting in that moment. And they're really not considering what people actually need in those moments.
Horrid, absolutely horrid. And how are they helping anyone with these kits? You can go to any drugstore and get a travel kit with basic hygiene items for like $10. And yeah, like someone else said, if I lost my house in a flood and someone gave me essential oils to support on an emotional level, I'd probably be arrested for assault. $40 for shampoo. Are these people on drugs?
And I think it was $80 for shampoo and conditioner.
Oh yeah, for the combo pack. Part of the doTERRA initiative to help, but what are doTERRA themselves giving in this scenario? Nothing. It's the doTERRA initiative to make money, and if some disaster hit people happen to get some shampoo, then they won't object to it.
Well said.
This is gross behavior. We agree. What the fuck? An MLM using a horrific natural disaster to make profits is vile. Texas victims need food, clothing, shelter, basic toiletries, and clean water, not essential oils BS. These Huns salivate when natural disasters hit. Highly disturbing behavior.
And this is what we mean when we say that MLMs turn people into people that they're not.
And I can't wait till we are able to do an episode where we dive deeper into the psychological aspect and the commercial cult indoctrination that happens when you're in an MLM. This is just another example on what it's like to be in recruitment mode 100% of the time. They're praying and waiting on these tragedies to be able to make these pitches because it means that they're going to make more money and that they can rank up higher in their MLM. It's gross. And because this is Cringe Binge, I have to include this because this is just ridiculous. My daughter is 34 weeks pregnant. The baby is breech. Are there any oils that might help turn him around?
They went there.
They absolutely went there. And this is the type of misinformation that is being spread, especially on Facebook. Facebook seems to be honest, like the cesspool of like where the most misinformation, at least in my opinion, is spread. They have all these testimonial groups and everything, which is just different than the type of content you see people posting on TikTok and Instagram. And we have to be clear, there's no oil, diffuser, or womb alignment blend that's going to make a baby flip. Breech babies can still turn on their own at this stage, but if they don't, there are evidence-based practice options like certain exercise or an external ECV done by a trained medical professional, not a bottle of lavender. MLM oils are not a substitute for proper prenatal care.
And any Hun that's trying to make you believe that is just trying to sell you something. They're not thinking about the consequences of the claim that they're making, nor have they taken the time to research the kind of claim that they're making. And what does Reddit have to say about this? this post.
And how are they going to get said oil to the baby? Are they going to put it up the hoo-ha? Magically assume it'll be absorbed if they rub it on their skin, drink it, and have their esophagus burn and liver damage? I truly want to know the game plan here. I use essential oils respectfully and have for a decade, and I'm always mind-boggled by people who don't realize how strong and dangerous they are. Nah, pour it into the belly button like a reverse body shot. The only miracle cure that can come from essential oil is peppermint's ability to help migraines. That shit's amazing. Otherwise, they're helpful, but many things are not. It's not magic. No lie. Someone once suggested that my husband massage my pinky toe with some magical essential oil to get my breech baby to flip. Haha, spoiler, it didn't work. I had a C-section. But some people are super into their Kool-Aid and they convince you their MLM products are magical cure-alls. I would love to know where people come up with these ideas.
I just can't believe that this has happened more than once.
Honestly, can't decide what's worse. The fact that someone actually asked this unironically, or the fact that somewhere out there an upline wellness coach is nodding along while invoicing her for clove oil and delusion. I saw your car and pulled over. Are you okay? I don't know. We crashed and I can't feel my legs. Lemongrass.
There's a lot of jokes to be had, and that's what happens when you put ridiculous claims out into the world. We have to laugh a little.
OMG, my mom was so deep into doTERRA usage. She told me basil essential oil on my abdomen would relieve my pain from my deep endometrial implants. I take opiates and had many surgeries to control that stuff, and she thought basil essential oil was going to do the trick. Just mix in a carrier oil and slather it all over yourself. You'll feel better in no time. Not surprisingly, she is also leaning towards anti-vaxxing, and I'm only convinced it's not full on because of the backlash she'll get from all her kids and getting medical advice off YouTube. I swear doTERRA is a catalyst. That's a great little horror story. And this again is where these reps just take things too far. There are benefits that can be had from essential oils, but they're not a replacement for medications and things that people need actual medical treatment for. I can't even believe this is a question. Neither can I. Just try to recruit it to the team. It'll turn right around. WD-40 maybe.
Anything for a sale.
Literally anything for a sale. And here we go again with MLMs advertising for pets. We saw it with Kangen. They want you to buy that for your gerbils, your guinea pigs. They want your cows to exclusively drink Kangen water. Well, now we have doTERRA essential oils that you can use on dogs. Oh, and this is posted directly by doTERRA. Good.
I would say the essential oils to avoid for pets is all of them.
I was also going to say that that was the only good part of this video, that at least they posted that.
And they still got that wrong. When all I could think of is obviously the human market is starting to fail. And again, let's go on the pets now. Animals are the new target market. That's wild to me.
And it's easy because it's so subjective. You're never going to know if any of these oils are actually affecting your pet in a positive way because your pet cannot tell you that. They cannot tell you that the oil you just rubbed on their belly is making them feel better
or bad.
And this is another thing where it promotes that harmful culture. And we're not talking about humans now, we're talking about pets, because they made a whole bunch of types of claims that for like odor control. And I think there was something on there about pests. There are reasons to get your pet vaccinated and treatments that you should be using to prevent things like fleas and ticks. And I'm sorry, but essential oils is not one of them.
And this is what we mean, right? So somebody posted this and they're actually asking for help. I had someone recommend an oil-infused garlic clove inserted rectally to prevent ticks for my dog. Is this safe and does it work? So these are the kinds of really dangerous claims that the Huns will spew out just for a sale.
This is absolutely disgusting. Keep your fingers out of your dog's rectum, number one. Number two, why are we so against getting actual medication and prevention treatments for ticks? This is serious. Tick bites, especially in pets, is a serious thing. So why are we using voodoo here? Get something that actually works.
Problem here. There's a problem. What did Reddit have to say on this one?
I can't even read this. Sticking my hand up my dog's ass to own the libs. I have glasses. I paid to see this. Please refund. This comment sending me to an early grave. Clearly us as well. Absolutely dying. Imagine not consulting a trained, experienced, and licensed veterinary professional instead of random advice people give on the internet. That poor dog. Seriously, that poor fucking dog.
Animal abuse. Sticking a clove that you dipped in essential oil up in no man's land. Why? Why?
Every time the dog farts, it'll keep more vampires away. This is when you hate your life and possibly your dog.
And it's not just us. The people of Reddit think that is really weird advice.
So if you take anything out of today's episode, it's that you shouldn't be shoving garlic up your dog's ass. Slathered in essential oils. Thanks everyone for binging the cringe with us. I have to say we definitely had some gooders today. If you have seen some cringy posts that you would like to see featured in Cringe Binge, please post them in our sub MLM horror stories on Reddit. And as always, if you liked this episode, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Queens of Schemes, on YouTube.
Thank you.